I remember, he plays the Levy plays the Scandinavian. He plays a lot of offbeat openings as black, and I remember already here I was feeling difficulty moving the pieces to the correct squares. As you can see, I'm spending like 7 to 9 seconds per move here, and it's mostly about the time it like takes me to figure out where the pieces are and to move them, because as far as I remember I wasn't thinking much. So we're castling on opposite sides, and here even though like I'm having difficulty like seeing the board and so on, I'm still thinking quite clearly. And so here I went for an idea that I knew from a completely different opening, actually. A game I played against Aronian back in 2019. I didn't win that game, but I came quite close at some point. He defended well, though. It's a bit of a strange idea because you allow your king position to be ruined a bit. But I have ideas of chasing his bishop. Basically, the somewhat exposed nature of his bishop makes it possible for me to launch a pawn storm on the other side, and with the help of that strong knight, it can be very strong. So he captures, he develops a knight, and he gives me a possibility to go for fork, but that would give him a lot of counterplay. So I'm thinking I'm not gonna stray from my plan and just push ahead. Here, he surprised me a bit by moving his bishop. I was expecting him to take my knight, attack with a pawn, and then try continue chasing his bishop, and it looked pretty nice for me, even though the computer says that it's equal. And you can see here from the times that they are pretty equal as well. So I've been obviously spending more time actually making the moves, but he's also been thinking a bit. So I take his bishop, and the idea is that once he takes back with the pawn, now I have an avenue to attack his king, because he cannot prevent lines from being opened near his king. So I push the pawns forward. He goes for a counterattack, but this is quite easy to prevent, and my king gets a really cozy home here. Even though there are no pawns in front of it, there's a bishop and a few pawns protecting key squares, and it's hard for him to open up more lines. So he gives a check again, moves the knight, and he's generally defending quite well here. So even though I have a clear initiative, it's not easy for me to break through. And now he makes a very logical move that turns out to be a mistake. Normally in these situations, you want to use this rook to move to an open file, because if you use the other rook, the rook that he moved would be stuck next to the king. But in this particular case, it was more important to protect the pawn next to his king that he now no longer protects, and that means that I gain time by attacking it. But apparently I forgot what I did and made another move that was not as good. So here I think he could have counterattacked and forced me to give perpetual check, but it was not easy to find. So he went for a natural move with very little time left, bringing the queen closer to the defense. But actually now I'm breaking through. So I bring the rook in, the queen back, setting up as they call it, the legendary triple stack on the file next to his king, and yeah, now that he has no way to defend, I still have a minute to go, so I should be able to checkmate in time. So I give a check, and here apparently I spent about 20 seconds to take the rook. I don't know if the rook was just too far away or anything, or I was looking for a direct mate, but I don't think there was one. So he keeps running with the king. I go back. He goes back with the king, and now we have 14 seconds left, and for now there is no checkmate. So I push the pawn, and now I give a check, but I have 3 seconds left. He takes. I give a check, and I barely have any time. He barely has any time, but apparently at this point I have a good grasp of where the pieces are. So on the next move I'm able to checkmate with only 2 seconds. 2 seconds left.
GG.
Yeah, that was a good game actually. Levy did not play badly at all there, so he really gave it his all and challenged me to really find some good moves.